Members of the company, this is your Places call. Places, please. Places for the top of the podcast. Places, please.
Get ready for a behind-the-scenes look at the glitz and not-so-glam of Broadway, education, and everyday life with Uncommon Sense. Join hosts Christopher Smith and Sharna Lopez as they bring you the best stories and shenanigans that seemingly prove how elusive common sense can really be. So take a little time for yourself to hang out with the dynamic duo Charnopher. And no leaving early, because you might just miss that 11 o'clock number.
Stand by music. Music, go.
Uncommon sense, the 11 o'clock
number. And we are Charnopher.
Oh, a half hour later. I was mid-sentence when you did that.
I know. Well, I'd already started it, and you weren't mid-sentence when I started it. But there's the whole countdown.
My bad. Now we're here. We're
good.
here.
We're here, y'all.
Can I mention something for a second?
I mean, yeah. It's just as much your show as it is mine.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a good pause.
Okay.
Just in case you need to edit this out. I love how when we first started doing our podcast, we were so particular. We would change shirts, we would do accessories. And now as we start recording, we're just like, let's just go. So I know maybe there are 3 Charno fans that watch this, but we're like in the same, we only have one shirt that we wear for the month. That really makes me laugh. But do you remember when we first started doing this and you'd be okay, let's go change. Yeah. So, and now we're just like, whatever. I love it. Cause we know that most of our people are listeners. Yeah. They listen.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. That made me giggle right now.
Yeah. I think the most watched episode is something like 60 views. And that's, and most of them are like 10, 12.
Yeah.
So we're okay. And we do love you watching on the YouTube, you guys, because sometimes we do things on here that you can only see, like our mug talk, you know?
When we always talk about mugs, which is the same mug I had in the last episode, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. That just came across my mind and I had to share.
It's also been a minute since we did 2 episodes in one sitting.
This is true. So because we're, normally on a hop. But we got inspiration. Yeah. We got a little bit of inspiration. We were like, we should talk about that. And I kind of want to do like this big buildup. We got this great topic and we were like, we have to discuss
life
this.
Changing.
It is, drum roll, pArKiNg tickets. But come on. I think that's actually what makes our podcast what it is. Like we could just... You know what we should do? Oh my gosh, this is Sharno squirrel moment extraordinaire. We should just put a bunch of topics into a hat and we don't even know what we're going to discuss. And then we just pick one out and we have to start talking about it.
Go.
We could call that the hat series.
Fun.
Right?
That's fun. We could do just some like bonus episodes, like a little 10-minute things. I love that.
And it could be kind of like silly, ridiculous stuff. Yeah. I love that. And we would love if you guys had topics.
Offer us.
Yes. Like if you guys want to offer a topic, I think that would be really fun. And we could put a bunch of topics in the hat and then just pull it out and be like, okay, a 10-minute quick round of what we're talking about. But that's how it happened.
Lightning
we were talking, we like got, on a tangent about pArKiNg tickets. And then we started discussing it. And then we were like, wait, this could be like part of an episode or an episode.
Yeah.
So the way we got into it, Charno fans, so I can catch you up, we were talking about how much it costs to mail things. And then I was telling Christopher, like, I can't remember the last time I mailed anything other than Christmas cards. Like we mail our Christmas cards out. Which next year, maybe not, if we keep needing to pay $100.
Can we talk
to
about
mail
that
things.
for a minute, actually?
Christmas cards?
Yeah. Only because I know that is not really our topic, but this is what we do. I am unsure whether I like the Christmas card idea because I feel like it's so expensive to do. And with the world that we live in with social media and everything, like you kind of, for me, the whole point of Christmas cards is to kind of update people on your lives or like see pictures of where you are now or what everybody looks like. But I'm like, with social media, don't you kind of just always get that? You know?
Yes.
I don't know.
I
don't know.
I don't disagree. I think for us, so I do Christmas cards every year. I have since the kids are little. And for me, it's I like receiving them, and we have like a whole Christmas card holder thing that we put everybody's Christmas cards up. And so it's almost like all of your friends are there with you for the holiday season. Like that's how I feel about it. It's over our mantle.
That's
like
fun.
Everyone's pictures are there, or they're, whatever it is. That's how I feel about it. The whole like updating, unless you're updating, like some people make like books, like foldable Christmas cards that talk about, and this person and that person, this person, unless it's Grandma Jojo from the Ozarks who doesn't pay attention on social media or you haven't talked to in forever. Like I find that unnecessary. I don't like, and also I don't send Christmas cards. Like the people I send Christmas cards to, some of them I don't even mail them because I'm like, okay, I'll see them tomorrow. Like it's not people. Yeah, exactly. Right. Christopher, I'm giving him my Christmas card at work, but it's more like a Merry Christmas. And then I know for me, having them all in the house is like, I even save them from year to year. And so like we have like, 2018 Christmas cards or whatever. Like, why? I'm a pack rat. I don't know, but I think it's fun.
Well, we've started digitizing everything. So like all of my thank you cards and things like that I get from like shows and things like that, I just scan them in and I have a whole file so I can just get rid of the cards and I will forever have the digital versions. Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, I have boxes of cards.
Yeah. Then I'm like, you also never really get to them. And this way, if I ever think about it, I'm like, oh, right here in the cloud, I can just go, oh, let me look at some appreciation. I'm having a rough day.
I like that.
So there we go. But yeah, also the cost, which is also how we got here.
Yeah, so we're talking about mailing
now.
things. And we were like, he looked up how much it costs to mail something. And I said, man, I can't remember the last time I mailed something other than Christmas cards. And I said, everything now you can just pay online, your credit card bills, whatever bills, like everything is through an app or an online payment. Great. Except for, I think it was probably 2 or 3 years ago, I got a parking ticket and they didn't have an online option. Now, I have since gotten a parking ticket. It's always at school, by the way, you guys. I don't just park wherever. It's always at school. And that's why we're going to start this episode with parking tickets. And it had the option to pay it online the second time. But that time I was like, I got to mail this in? Like, what? So parking. I have only ever received parking tickets 2 places, at school and at my house.
Okay, we need to talk about both of those. I know technically how it happens at school, but also like maybe don't park there anymore. I don't know. I park
at school?
in the same spot. So
here's the deal at school, and this is not a secret because every employee that parks on that same street has the same mentality that I do. Yeah. If I can park on that street, so the main street that runs in front of our school has a 2-hour parking sign.
Technically.
Yeah. So there was a year or 2 in there where the city was really patrolling it and they would chalk the car tires and tickets were being given out. And at those 2 years, we were all like, okay, yeah, we won't park here. And we parked elsewhere. In recent years, especially since COVID, they do not patrol it. Maybe once a year, which is when Charna gets her parking ticket. And I will take the $40 parking ticket once a year if I can park in Princess parking, front row parking, and not have to park across the street or in a lot full of kids. That's my big thing. Yeah. I don't want to go park in the lot with all the seniors because then they bang up your car.
Or they're like, smash your car. And it's like, let me just smash this door into you. And then there's the new lot where I almost started an Instagram anonymously just to take pictures of people that cannot park. I'm like, I'm sorry. If the space is only 8 feet wide, I understand that's tiny, but you need to not park 5 feet into the next stall.
But those spaces, whoever designed, this is why I knew this would be a good topic, because I could name 5 parking lots in Orange County that I curse. I put a curse on it.
Yes.
That is one of them. Whoever painted.
Yes.
I have a small car. You have a small car. My car barely fits in those spots.
I know.
And because they're not on diagonals, it's really hard. It is. Like, I get it. And I get in there and I'm like, okay, my car technically should fit in there. But when there are cars on either side, my car fits in there and I can't get out. I got to climb through the sunroof. Like, what? Who decided it?
Climb out the back of my car one day. Literally.
This is what I'm saying. How is this helpful? Oh, we got you guys a new parking lot. Thanks for ants. Like, how?
Yeah,
how?
It's a parking lot for ants.
That's why I'll take the $40 parking ticket.
I know.
On the street. So yeah, I've gotten probably, and then there's another place over across the street by the Web Theater, which is another part of our campus where they do ticket on the street as well. And I'm like, whatever. Sometimes I'll park there and I'm like, I like know what I'm risking, you know?
Right. You're going to it, eyes wide open. It's all good.
And if I pay $40 a year to be able to park where people aren't going to hit my car, I will say though, and Christopher, I don't know, I think you've maybe experienced this too. People on that street in front of our school. So I know we've talked about our school a lot on here, but there's 2 parts of the day at our school. There's the academic part and the conservatory part. And so in the middle, there's this sort of influx crossover of people on campus and teachers. Some are leaving, some are coming. And the parking is really, really tough. People will park so incredibly close back to front on that main street because they got to get into their class or whatever. I have had moments that I can't get my car out. Like I have had to ask security at least twice. I have to ask security, whose car is this? Do you guys know whose car this is? I had to go up to a classroom and be like, hey, you parked 3 inches from my car. I can't even get my car out. Like, what the heck? Why are you laughing so hard? Is that what you do?
I do. No, but I do think about that. I said no.
Okay. Reverse.
But reverse. Take the judgment back. I do think about that because I'm like, I can fit here, but if I get in, nobody can get out, including me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and it's like one time I was in a hurry. I had to either pick up a kid or to get to an appointment or something. And I literally did the 92-point turn. Yep. I was like, it was insane. And I was like, if this person's car gets hit behind me, I'm not even mad because don't park so close to my car. I think there should be a rule that you have to be able to walk in between the cars, right? Like a human has to be able to walk in between there.
Right.
But man, that's happened more than once on that street. Yes.
Also, because part of me wants to go, let me hit your car. Let me put a little thing that protects my car. I'll put a bag on my bumper so that I can bash your car. And
I mean, I sort of have thought that too, but I would never. But I mean, I've had to go chase teachers down, like find them in their classroom. Like you have to move your car. Oh man, crazy. And then the other place that I've gotten parking tickets is at my house for street sweeping, where I've like completely forgotten.
I was like, what?
Yeah. And then I'll be like, oh, it's Tuesday. Now, not recently because our driveway, we always park in the driveway. But it was our last house we lived in that we didn't park in the driveway a lot. And so, or people get tickets here too. Like if they've stayed the night and they're on the street, I'm like, it's Tuesday, go move your car. Yeah. So those are the 2 places.
Confusing and hard. Okay. But like parking is just so bad everywhere. I feel like I never go anywhere where I'm like, this is great.
Yeah.
Like, except for parking structures. Most of the time, parking structures are pretty good. Yeah. Except for when I can't find my way through the parking structure. I'm like, wait, how do I get to the next level? It's like, because sometimes it's like randomly one spot.
Yes.
That you goes up. Otherwise, you just keep going in a circle. I'm like, I've been around this like 5 times. Where's the up ramp?
And if it's not labeled, right? And
Yeah.
you're just like, I've had it where I end up going back out the exit and I'm like, hold on, I didn't want to leave. You're like trying to go. You're like, wait, what? I was trying to go. Yeah. If it's not labeled. Another thing in parking structures recently that I'm sure you've seen in the last handful of years is they will mark like, in Irvine, the Spectrum. It's marked. So you like go in the parking structure and it's like level 1, 52 spaces, level 2, 205 spaces or whatever. I love that. I love that.
Me too.
Until you get on that level and you're like, where are those 205 spaces that were mentioned? I'm sorry. I do not see them. And I think your calculation
promised,
is wrong.
under delivered.
Yes. You're like, how can there be 95 spots here?
Yeah.
Wrong.
I think that's a lie.
When's the last time you went to Disneyland?
It's been like since Grayson was like 3 months old. So 5 years.
Okay. So it's been a while. So, but I'm sure the last time you went there, I have a very close friend who works in the parking, higher up at Disney. I'm going to ask him and I will report back with the answer to this question. They have in the Disneyland parking structure lights that are like outside of the stalls.
Go this direction? Oh,
No. And it's green or red, which to me means red is there's a car in this parking spot and green is this parking spot is open. Never have I ever been into that structure where that proves to be true. Like there'll be a whole row of cars and all the lights are green. And I'm like, but that should be red. And then there's like one red because it's supposed to help you when you're driving through there to see like where the airport's like that too. The last time we went to LAX and we parked in the parking garage, the same thing where we're like, look for a green. That's the whole point of it. Disneyland, and maybe they just, because they have attendants, maybe they like don't use the lights when the attendants are there, but like then turn them off because you're making me mad. Like that is green and there is a vehicle there.
I'm
so
confused because ask him. That's very confusing because that doesn't make any sense. Now, is it just backwards or is it just wrong?
No, and there's no rhyme or reason to it. Yeah, there's no rhyme or reason to it. At least in the Disneyland one.
Let me get this straight. So, are we sure they just don't mean that green means that there is a car there, and red means
maybe? But then there's red ones with cars in it too.
Oh, okay. Well, then I gotta go. I don't know what to do with that. I'm like, goodbye.
Then I got to go. I'm out. Yeah, I'm sure there's some sort of answer and I'm going to find it out. But I'm all about the helpful parking stuff. Like the front of
absolutely.
Tell me how many are on each thing, labeled very clearly of where you go. Structures are usually great. I dislike, there are a couple places in Orange County that I'm like, who designed this parking lot? And are they a human who drives a car? Because
right.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Like the ones that get me are when the cars you can't pass each other in a parking lot, right? So like if some car's coming from this way and the other car's coming from the other way and you're like, now what? It's like, wah,
right.
wah, wah. You're like, I can't, who's going to back up? Who's going to go around? Like just,
right.
What?
It's just a game of chicken.
Yes. Also, there's one lot kind of by school. And I used to live in the apartments right next to it when I was in college. There is, I haven't been there in a while, but when I was there the last time, a Starbucks, a Jamba Juice, a Subway, a Rubio's, some sort of sushi place, a vitamin place. I'm talking like places that people want to frequent, possibly all at the same lunchtime. And I think they have 50 parking places. Total. Every time. Yeah. And it's not like, hey, and now just go over to this other lot. There's no other lot.
No.
So like I would drive through there sometimes like, oh, I'm going to go get Rubio's. And I would drive through. I'm like, there's no parking. I can't get like those businesses. They're probably losing money because there's no other place to park. It's bizarre.
Right.
I'm like, who built
Everyone's
this?
going to have to go to takeout only at all those locations. And
right.
All the parking is 10 minutes.
That's crazy. I know. Well, and that's another thing too. Do you love now, like when you go to certain parking lots and the first, 5 rows of parking are all drive up pickups? And I'm like, Just because I physically want to walk into a store today, you're making me park a mile away. Rude. Target is the worst now. And I do Target drive up probably more than any person. I love me a Target drive up.
Me too.
But on the days I am going to walk into Target, I'm mad at those people. And I'm like, Sharna, you are one of those people. Don't be mad at them. I'm so annoyed.
I will say the Targets around us, like directly around us here in the MV, are pretty well laid out. Like the drive up is actually not near the front. It's about 3 rows away.
Got it.
It's like 12 spaces, 3 rows away.
See, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
And hey, I'm the people who work at Target that have to do the drive up orders, maybe they don't like that because they got to walk further.
Right.
However, it makes more sense for traffic purposes. It makes more sense for like foot traffic. And our Target, this is very interesting. We literally, I could throw a rock at our Target. I mean, we live next. Target is our neighbor. There is a whole side.
You actually live in Target.
There's a whole side parking lot that nobody ever parks in. That I'm like, hey,
make that
Target
the
drive up. Move on over there. Because at our Target, the next time you are ever over here and you go to Target, you're gonna laugh because it's 2 full rows, and then there's 2 full rows of Tesla charging stations.
Yes.
Also. So, which is fine. But again, like, I think they should move it over to the other area. Yes.
I know.
See, we knew this would get interesting. We knew this would get spicy. Target drive up. But gosh, I love me a Target drive up.
People will be mad. I do too. Except you have to be careful because I don't like paying for bags. I'm like, no, thank you. I have my own bag.
Oh.
And they automatically charge you $1 for the Target drive up, and you have to tell them, I do not want any bags, and you have to hope that they remember to take it off your bill.
And then do they take it out of the bag when they bring it to you?
Yeah. I say, no bags, please. Thank you. But you have to also remind them, even if you take the bag, it's like, I only have 1 bag because you need to go back and refund me for the other 9 bags that you charged me for.
I didn't even know they charged that. I haven't even paid attention.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't like that. I don't like being charged for things
but
I
will
don't
say,
use.
Target drive up has saved me so much money because I only get the things I need. And I'm not walking through Target like, you know what I mean? I love it.
Yeah. That's smart to think of it that way. So you still are ahead, even if you don't get the refund for the bags.
But in that same parking lot, we now have a Nordstrom Rack, which I'm so excited about. And they put in spaces for pickup for, like, I don't know what it says,
like
but it's something about
order?
Yeah. But also park 5 spaces down and walk if you're walking in anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how they got that. Like I'm for the mom parking. I remember thinking when they started putting those in certain places
too. I like that.
Family and mom and like new mom parking or whatnot, or expecting mothers or whatever. Like I'm like, yes, I get that for sure.
Yeah.
Because I remember being uber pregnant and having Sebastian still to bring in or whatever. And I'm like, I am more handicapped than a handicapped person right now. So like, can I please have a space that's not so far away? Yeah. I think that's
funny.
Smart.
It's like, you should be able to apply in your 3rd trimester. You should be able to apply for a temporary placard to park in a handicap spot.
Yeah. Right? Like a pregnant placard.
Yeah.
It's fun. You could call it that. A pregnant placard.
That's true. Pregnant placard.
Man. I'm going to circle back real quick. Oh. You talk about it and then I'll circle back. I love it. Let's go.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about, because you talked about with the lights in the stalls at the parking structure at Disneyland. One of my favorite things is at Costco gas when they have more than 2, and they have like the thing up there that says, there's nobody in the first one. Please drive around. You can just look and know. And then I get real spicy with people that just sit there in front of me. And there's like 3 green ones and there's 4 cars in front of me. Numerous times in my life, I'm like, I'm counting to 20. And if nobody moves, goodbye. And I go around them. I'm like,
and you've done it
because 100%. And one One time someone tried to get like mad at me and I was like, excuse me, I literally said, literally verbatim, you have been sitting here for 35 years looking at this sign that says green and you did not move. You lost your turn. Carry on.
You have to pay attention.
But you got to pay attention.
I think too, okay, at the Costco, I too love that. And I love that it's like a helper of like, oh, good, it's open, or I'm going to go in this one. There's not that many cars. I agree. Some people don't really do it. I will say, I try to like read the situation. So if let's say I'm the next car and there's, two cars and then the one in the front leaves. If I see guy in the middle is like finishing up and he's and he's going to get back in his car, I will wait. Because then I know two of us can go, right? I will. Right. I don't always like go immediately. I take a second.
But I'm like, I also do that. So I'm also aware. And I'm like, are they finishing up? Are they not? And if they are, then I'm like, okay, I'll wait. Yeah. Great. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Well, thanks for joining us, Charno fans. We enjoyed sharing our parking and parking adjacent shenanigans because we love a shenanigan. So like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram at Charnopher Official. Check out uncommonpod.com. Maybe get some merch. And on that note, Charnopher out.
This concludes another episode of Uncommon Sense. If you're ready for more of this fresh, hilarious, and unique perspective on the world of entertainment, education, and life, be sure to subscribe right now to catch every episode. If you gasped, laughed out loud, or even snorted, share the show with your friends and aspiring entertainers because, let's be real, sharing is caring. For more Charnopher, tune in to their witty insights by checking out the website uncommonpod.com or connecting on social media. Tune in next week and get the real insider scoop on another episode of Uncommon Sense.